Alicia is 25 years old. She's been smoking for a little over a year and was recently diagnosed with panacenar emphysema. She wants to learn more about her condition, so she goes online to look into it further. Emphysema is an incurable airway disease of the lungs. It is characterized by the destruction of alveoli, the alveolar walls, and elasticity. 98% of emphysema is caused by smoking and inhaled toxins. The other 2% is caused by an inherited deficiency of alpha-1 antitrypsin, which is an antiprotease enzyme that protects the lungs. Overall, emphysema is caused by an imbalance in the antiprotease-protease enzymes in the body. Let's begin with the normal physiology of the lungs. The lower respiratory tract is composed of the trachea, bronchi, bronchioles, and the alveoli that form tiny clusters. This is where gas exchange takes place. There are two main types of emphysema, centriacinar emphysema and panacenar emphysema. On the left, we see a normal alveoli, terminal bronchioles leading into respiratory bronchioles and ending in sacs of alveoli. Next is an example of centriacinar emphysema that is characterized mainly by damage to the terminal and respiratory bronchioles, caused by smoking and inhaled toxins. Last is panacenar emphysema, which mainly involves destruction to the peripheral alveoli and is most often caused by an alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency. Proteases, particularly elastase, which is an enzyme that digests elastin, are released from neutrophils, alveolar macrophages, and other inflammatory cells. Normally, the lung is protected by antiprotease enzymes, including alpha-1 antitrypsin. Cigarette smoke and other inhaled irritants stimulate movement of inflammatory cells in the lungs, causing an increased release of elastase and other proteases. When antiprotease production is insufficient to neutralize the excess protease production, elastic tissue damage goes uninhibited. In Alicia's case, there is a deficiency in the protein alpha-1 antitrypsin, which protects the lungs from proteases. This makes her more susceptible to damage caused by the elastase. The destruction of elastin in the alveoli causes air trapping to occur. On the left, we see normal alveoli with elastic fibers, seen here in red. When oxygen is inhaled, the elastic fibers stretch, then recoil of the elastic fibers forces carbon dioxide out of the lungs. To the right, we observe the alveoli in the case of emphysema. Because of the destruction of elastic fibers, when oxygen is breathed into the lungs, there is decreased recoil, trapping the carbon dioxide in the alveoli, much like breathing into a plastic bag as opposed to a balloon. With air being trapped in the lungs, the diaphragm flattens, which requires the use of accessory muscles to force air out of the lungs. The use of accessory muscles contributes to the expansion of the chest wall, giving the appearance of a barrel chest, a common symptom of emphysema. This also causes a shortness of breath known as dyspnea. As the result of buildup of carbon dioxide in the lungs, the pH of the blood is lowered, resulting in acidosis. To keep homeostasis, the body will start to hyperventilate in order to attempt to balance the pH to within normal levels of between 7.35 to 7.45. The hunched over or tripod position, another common symptom of emphysema, reduces effort to breathe by forcing the diaphragm down and forward. Pursed lip breathing also helps to reduce effort to breathe by keeping the airway open longer, prolonging exhalation, and helping to release air trapped in the lungs. Alicia decides that she needs to quit smoking in order to reduce the damage being caused by the overproduction of proteases. To summarize, homeostasis is disrupted in the body due to an imbalance between protease and antiprotease enzymes. This imbalance causes destruction to the alveoli, alveolar walls, and impaired gas exchange, leading to respiratory acidosis. The main proteins involved in emphysema are elastase, an enzyme that digests elastin, which is found in the connective tissue of the lungs, and alpha-1 antitrypsin, an enzyme that protects the lungs from protease activity. Gas exchange takes place across the cell membrane. Because of damage to the alveolar cell walls in emphysema, gas exchange is impaired.